For those of you who are doing lookups with lower and upper ranges, this will be a very crucial lesson for you. Basically, in normal vlookup or index match, you will have, for example, a score like we can see here. You will search for the score in a table, and based on what you find, you will return the value in an adjacent column. In this exercise, the problem I have is instead of having each score, I have ranges. So for example, a 4 score is in the first range, so I need to return a 1 number for a grade or an F as a grade. So how to do this? Basically, I'm going to show you 3 methodologies. The first 2 are good for a number, so when you return numbers. The third one will work for both numbers and text. But before I do the methodologies, we need to work on this. So basically, this is a range and it's delimited with a dash. What I need to do is have a number that is a lower bound and another number that is upper bound. So I'm just gonna insert a column here, select this text, and then go here to data, text to column. I have a delimiter, then I have a dash as my delimiter. You can see how the numbers will just separate. We'll do next, keep it general as a format, finish, and now my numbers are separated, which is great. We're gonna start with Sumifs with S. So how to use Sumifs? Basically, I'm gonna do equal Sumifs, open parenthesis. My sum range will be the output I want. So I'm just gonna select this one, press F4 because we're gonna drag the formula, and then I'm gonna do comma. Criteria range 1. If you think about it, I need my 4 to be bigger or equal than my lower range and smaller or equal than my upper range. If I flip this, I want my lower range to be smaller or equal than 4 and my upper range to be bigger or equal than 4. So let's start with the first criteria. So I said I want my lower range, so that's my lower range. We'll do F4 again, comma, what's my criteria? Double quotation mark, smaller or equal to, double quotation mark, and, so we can concatenate, and then I select my score. So this is my first criteria. Second criteria, as I just told you, we want our upper range, F4, comma, double quotation, bigger, equal, double quotation, and the number. We close the parenthesis and then we get the grade number 1. How did this work? Basically, it went through each line and it checked, is this smaller or equal than my score? And it also checked, is this bigger or equal than my score? And every line it finds that both of them are correct, it will sum it. But because there is only one line, which is the first one, where this 0 is smaller or equal than 4 and this 50 is bigger or equal than 4, it only summed one line. If I just drag this, you're going to see that, for example, for 79, the only line where I have a number that is smaller than 79 and another number bigger than 79 is the fourth one. And this is how this Sumifs work. So it will always sum one line. Let's look at SUMPRODUCT. So SUMPRODUCT is a nice formula when you have two arrays, so two columns, and you want to go through each line. You want to multiply the numbers and sum it to the multiplication of the next line. The only thing that people don't know is that SUMPRODUCT could be useful with conditions, and we're going to see how to do it now. So I'm going to go here and type SUMPRODUCT, open my parenthesis, and close my parenthesis. Inside this, I have array 1, array 2, array 3. What I want to do is I want this range, the G column, to be lower than my score, or equal obviously, and I want my H column to be bigger or equal than my score, and then if it's the case, I want the number. We can do open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Let's just start with one simple column. Inside this, what I'm gonna do is select this data, do F4, and then do smaller or equal than 4. And we're gonna do enter just to see. I get a 0. Why am I getting a 0? If I just go to this, I select this, I'll do F9. You can see that I get true and then everything else is false. In the language of Excel, true equal 1, false equal 0. So let's just record what I got here. I got the first one true and then everything else false. So 1 is true and then everything else is false, right? Now, let's add a condition and do the same for this upper range. So here to say and in a sum product, you have a multiply. I'll open parentheses and close parentheses. And inside, we're gonna have this range, F4, bigger than or equal to my score. And then we're just gonna do enter. I'm gonna show you what you get here. You do F9, you get everything true. So everything is bigger than 4. Great. We do escape to ensure that we are fine, we don't mess up the formula. So I got ones everywhere because everything is bigger than 4. Then let's add a third and if you want with a star, and then we do open, close parentheses, and let's select those numbers, F4. So now we have those numbers here. What SUMPRODUCT does, it will multiply the three of them and sum them. So it will do 1 times 1 times 1 and so on. It will do 0 times 1 times 2 and there you go. If you sum the whole thing, you'll get a 1. And that's how this SUMPRODUCT works. So if I just drag it, it will give me the right results. Because here you have the grades. Whenever there'll be two matching conditions, I'll have 1 and 1. When I multiply them, I'm not gonna get a 0, so I'll be able to get my grade. The last one is actually the simplest one, so I left the best for the end. It will work for both numbers and letters. We're gonna use index match. So we're gonna do index, open parentheses. What is my array? My array where I want the result is this now. So I'm gonna do F4, comma. My row number, I need to use a match. So I'm gonna do match, my value, which is the score, my lookup array, I'm just gonna select the lower range with an F4, comma, here is the magic. Usually when we use match formula, we want exact matches. But in this case, I'm gonna choose the 1. 1 means the following. Let me just choose it, close the parentheses 2 times, and say enter, and explain to you. 1 means get me the largest value that is lower than what you select. So in this case, what is the largest value in this table, in this column that I selected, that is smaller than 4? Well, it's 0. So then it will tell me that my index is at the first line and it will pick up F. If I drag this, let's take another example. What is the largest value in this column that is smaller or equal to 79? It is 71 because that's the largest value, less than 79 or equal, of course. And this is how you get the result. So please let me know in the comment section what is the methodology that you prefer and why, and don't forget to like, share this video and subscribe to the channel because it's gonna be a very big help for me.